around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing roaches? Collecting all this money on the roads like I'm homeless. A nigga like me.
Welcome back. This is Nicardo Media House. Good morning, everyone. Good day. Whenever you're watching this video, back on the replay. But I just want to say, thanks to everyone supporting the video. Can't stop. Thank everyone. I really appreciate it. Mean a lot. Just by click on the video and watch it, and for everyone that's comment, everyone that click the like button and stuff like that. But yeah, big thanks. Shout out to you guys. But the World Cup final, is Sunday. That big game in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Mexico, chasing their ninth World Cup, and Panama, trying to kick them off the perch and trying to win their first World Cup in history. But it's going to be a really good game. Trust me, that game is going to be a really good game. Because Panama team is playing really good football. The Mexican team is coming alive. They just beat Jamaica 3-0 in the semi-final in Las Vegas on Wednesday night. So yeah. But a few things, discussed with the Reggaeboyz moving forward, and touch on a little bit more in that Mexico game, and but still disappointed a lot. We lost that game and stuff, but it's all in the game. But when a day here feel like tear down any players. Players make mistake. We're not here to blame everyone. We lose as a team. Win as a team. We celebrate as a team. We just do everything like a team. You get what I'm saying? So losing a game, not going to just blame the coach. Yeah, we know he made a few tactical errors and stuff like that. But yeah, look at the coach. You see he made a few errors, in the game, tactical wise, and so. But we're not going to just get into the coach skin and try and say, oh yeah, but as I said before, we lose as a team. We do everything as a team. So when we win, everybody come together and celebrate. So why when we lose, we pointing fingers and stuff? But it's a very, very young team. This was the first time this group of players are coming together, and just to make the semifinal of the World Cup, with a new coach, new young players that never played in a World Cup tournament before. We made some stride. Yeah, we made a couple progress, but I was expecting the boys to win. Nothing less than a win, because why you play sports? You play sports to win, right? So I don't see why, you just want to get up and just play and just say, oh, I finished quarterfinal, oh, I got knocked out by Mexico in the semi-final. That is not the aim. The aim was to win. The aim was to win. As a fan, I want to see the team win. I want to celebrate trophies. I want to see that it go down in history. But it's all in the game. We want to move on from that, and we just want to get better from there. And I just want to start off with Blake. You know, when that ball was on the left, Gallardo had that ball, before he crossed it. As a keeper, as a captain, you just have to be aware of your surrounded, help, help your players, help the defenders, just by like command in your ear, like, talk. Sometimes you be a goalkeeper, you can't just silent, you have to be talking. That ball came over, by Gallardo and came, and I think it was a Mexican. They dummied the ball. You leave alone, and it went over to Henry Martin, and he took a touch before he fired. But the anticipation between the defenders, they didn't ready. They didn't react sharp enough so they could break that play up. But goalkeeper Blake, you have to be more commanding in your ear. You have to be, more talkative. You have to let the players know who is there. Your man is coming. Just like telling players like, yo, you have one there. We had like 6 players in the box, and Eno Martin was there free by himself. So I don't really understand. But moving on, Damian Lowe, Damian Lowe have some really issues. I don't mind sometime when a defender stepped up, and trying to charging, but sometimes you have to play a little bit intelligence, and you can see that was one of the game plan for the Mexican team by moving forward so he can step up, and they play them out of position a lot of times, but as a defender, bro, like you've been around the blocks for a long time. You've been playing Concacaf World Cup, Nation League, World Cup qualifier. You played a whole lot of games against the Mexican. You have a lot of experience, in this part of the region. So playing up, so coming up against players like this, man, you have to be more smart. You have to be more intelligent. Like if you watch like players like Virgil, like Rio, play like Sergio, sometimes aggressive football not going to cut it, you have to be more smart with how you play, Deshaun Bernard have a poor game, he was a fault of that second goal. He booked back the ball up and they caught us again on the transition. But, young player, first Gold Cup, he's going to learn. It's only going to get better, but hope he can come under the guidance of, experienced player that going to play it in that back line. You can see that the team kind of did miss it and pin up in that game, but Bell had a really not a quiet game, but he was trying to go up, but it didn't work out. But my problem was in the back line with Javier Brown. Sometime when Javier Brown, his possession, when keeping possession or he's going to get the ball, it's like Javier Brown don't know what to do. Sometime when you get the ball from inside of the middle, the way how him control the ball is like him fierce already and the guy that played him the ball. Let's say if you get the ball from Kevin or Joel from inside the central midfield area, his first thing, as a right back is to open up and see what down the line because they got the ball inside of the mid. So you want to open up first touch and you know what can happen down the line from there. Either you play it back short or you play it back down the wing or you get a lob pass if there is no pass. The man them need to be more the man have to be more precise. The man have to be aware of them surrounded even before they get the ball. You guys are professional. You cannot get the ball and then think what you're going to do after. When you played football like that, your opponent going to easily to close it down and playing against teams that really quick like Mexico team. It take you like 2-3 seconds before them close it down if you're going to play that. You have to pick your pass before the ball come to you so you can know. So as a right back, when you get the ball, you're supposed to have at least 1, 2, 3 plan, when you get the ball, where is the first pass, where you look first, where are the best options. So you have to be more precise than that. But the midfield, Kevin and Joel, in that Mexico game, they struggle. They really struggle a lot. And, we get caught up in the motion of, they're playing good in the Trinidad game and in the St. Kitts game, in somewhat in that Guatemala game in the quarter final, even though they didn't really control the game. But, between Lambert and Joel, they made 64 touch in that game. Between Roma and Chavez, they made 95 touch recoveries. Lambert and Joel made 6 recoveries. Chavez and Roma made 9 recoveries. Zero chance created in that game by those two, Joel and Lambert. Between Roma and Chavez, they created 2 chances. Joel and Lambert made 5 passes into the final third. Meanwhile, the Mexican two double pivot, they pushed 10 passes into the final third, and Joel and Lambert had a 75 pass accuracy. The Mexican, Roma and Chavez have a 85% passing accuracy. So you could see the difference there. You could see a big difference. So we as a fans see that they're struggling into big games. So we're going to need to fix that. I think the coach that pulled up one of the players, one of them, put in Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson is more of a player who will get on the ball, at the time. break down the game and, just to get the game on our pace. But it didn't work out. He put Boza on, and that was some tactical error you made. You get in boss in the midfield and you throw down a striker and you take out one of your CDM, you know. But both of them are a real CDM. I don't think Joel is more naturally a CDM, he's just a stop leak in that middle. But Kevin, he in somewhat, he played really good in the tournament. If he can get another midfielder in beside of him, that can play the football really intelligent, just like, oh, as an example, Ericsson, start to play with the likes of, Casemiro, Fred, and players like that in the United team. He made them better, just by his awareness, his touches, so players like that, like Lambert, you know, they they can get better, by playing it more intelligent player. One of the main issues was on that right side. The Mexicans attack us on that right side. They did it in Azteca, they did it in Kingston, and they did it on Wednesday night in Las Vegas. Why? Javian Brown is a liability, defending. Leon Bailey is a liability, tracking back as a winger. Even when he played for Aston Villa, they're making tactical change. He's one of the first that always gets substitute. I don't know if Bailey is sometimes if he's 100% fit, but he really track back and help out is defender. And in that game, they kill us on that right side. Like they killed us. So having a poor game, man, Bailey, you have to like step up more into your game. You are one of the top elite guy for this team. You are the marquee player. Sometimes I feel like you try too hard. You just play the basic football. Move into position, just like Damargue coming. Like Damargue don't do nothing really spectacular like what Bailey can do, but Damargue coming. So what Damari did, when he came on the scene for Jamaica, he played the basic, as a winger, he dribble, you trying to take on players, you're trying to get the crosses in when it's available to your striker. I think Bill just need to just relax and, play the basic. Don't try too hard like, oh, you are the man. Yeah, we know say you are one of the players that, look up to bring this team forward. If we had another player like Gray, which is supposed to be Leon Bailey, we could probably create more damage, in the tournament. You think he had a dribble that, where he cut in and gave Mikel Antonio that ball and, he crossed it. I think that ball was too far away from Shamar Nicholson. Yeah, but, he had a really, poor tournament to, and Bailey standard. I'm not going to say Bailey had a really good tournament. His game was really poor, even in that Mexico game, in somewhat in that US game, you know, he played like, a average game against St. Kitts. That's St. Kitts and Trinidad, so yeah, but Damari man, really have to give him a praise. He stepped up in the tournament, he was really trying, he was trying to make things happen. He was a bright sparks in the game, even in Mexico game. He trying. I think he made a 25-yard dribble where he trying to break through that Mexico team and the counter. But he's a really live wire, and it's glad to see that a player that in the setup are like that. So moving forward, it's going to be more easier for him. Settling into the Concacaf region and trying to figure out how teams played more. So yeah, it's I just want to see, yeah, so I just want to see, more of Damargue, especially moving forward in the Nation League coming in September. Um, you know, the striker position, Mikel didn't score a lot, didn't score any goal. Boza didn't score any goal. We had, I think Corber came off the bench and scored one. Whisper scored one. So, we were poor up front by not finishing our chances. We need goals from our strikers, but I think we had 9 different scorers in this team, and that is a good thing. The goals can come from all around different. areas on the pitch. So that's one of the things. But I'm going to the coach, right? The 4-4-2. Playing a 4-4-2 against a 4-3-3 system. All the Mexican played, right? They had three guys in the midfield that going to play really close to each other. Yeah, and the wingers they're going to stay really wide. So when the 4-4-2, when we had guys got matched up in the middle, 3v2, we get overload. The wingers got overload. When we so the wingers in that game they didn't know when to step in and when to step out. And I think the front two in that game, playing a 4-4-2, you have to drop back and help. You have to drop really deep and help out the midfield, because if you don't, it's going to be a really chaos in the middle. And it did happen. At times you see Damari here coming, he was trying to take the ball off the midfielder. And, when you lose it, there's a big gap out there on the left side, and it showed, So even on that right side, by building a tracking back, leave a lot of space for the guys to run, Pineda and Gallardo down that side. So we're gonna have to play a little bit more smart, more intelligent. We have to be more tactical awareness playing at 4-4-2. Because 4-4-2 is a really tough formation to play in this modern day football, because you have 3-5-2, you got 3-4-3. So it's going to create overload when you play 4-4-2. So it depends on the front two how to drop back and how to create space for the midfield, so each players know their work, know their areas to work in. And it's crucial for the wingers. The wingers can't play too wide and they can't play too invert. So the coach going to have to get the guys and more info of that 4-4-2, playing that tactical way. But moving on to the Mexico team, Jimmy Lozano did an interview before the game, and he was emphasizing how he want the team to play more physical, play quicker, you know, play stronger, winning second balls and score that first goal. Because look, after they score, they actually like slow the game down. If you see Ochoa, the goalkeeper, every time when the ball come to him, he take the sting out of the game, because they know that if they played that fast transition game, they could get hurt, because Jamaica like to play fast on the counter. So they try their best to slow it down as slow as possible. So, they can ride the game out, and scoring first, what the Mexican did by scoring first. Oh man, they put a lot of pressure on us. You could see that a lot of other players had dropped low, tactical wise. They gave up. It was awful at one point. At the first 15, 16 minutes, they had like 64 possession. We had like what 36, so it was really awful. It was we until the 20 something minute before we got our first shot on target. Meanwhile, they already got 6 shots and 3 on target. So, we didn't really play well in that first half, But when you scored first, that will leave your opponent to come out, and that's what they did. They slow the game down. So we, by chasing the game, we have to be coming out of our comfort zone, chasing the game, and that's what they want. It's gonna leave a lot of space, and I think the coach was gonna make a midfield change, but he didn't make it. But if you see how the Mexicans play, even that Honduras game, they scored in the first 5 minutes of the game, and what happened? The Honduran were all over the place. They're chasing the game, and the Mexicans were just comfortable on the ball, moving it around and creating space. Eric Sanchez is that player that came in for Edson Alvarez, and he started to play well. He made things stick. He's a very intelligent player. He's the one that was playing that number 10 position, was linking up with Romo and Chavez and with Henry Martin. So, he made a lot of plays where it started to, he made a lot of plays where, when he get the ball, you can't touch him, because he's in some acute spot where it's confusion between the midfield and the defenders. If you're supposed to tackle or mark, you can't mark. Players make really intelligent running in little acute spots. But at Mexican, they get way too much space, they got way too much space, they create spaces for themselves, they overload Jamaica a lot. And you have to give credit to Jimmy Lozano, he did his homework, so and how to break down Jamaica team and how to, kidnap their style of play and put it in their pocket and just by play the game on their I was seeing something in a tournament, with this Mexico team. One time you have Mexican players that playing in big in big elite leagues, playing for big teams in Europe, but now you have like, Ochoa, he played in Cremonese in the Seria A. You have Edson Alvarez that played for Ajax. You have Chucky Lozano played for Napoli. Um, One of their young strikers, Santiago Jimenez, he played for PSV. So this Mexican team, it's like a transition. When they come together, it's like it's a DNA, it's a thing in their blood. How to play. It doesn't matter what Mexican player come on the pitch. They know exactly how they want to be played. They have a system, they have a DNA that run through their blood. So I think Jamaica gonna have to get a DNA, so it doesn't matter what players come in or any English player. But the Jamaica team, some you see many players coming and go, even local, international. So we have players that played in England, and we have players that played different parts of the world. But we make the same mistakes over and over and over. So I think we need this coach to come and correct us, right? Correct the players, correct the tactical decision that we made defending in the midfield and going forward because we making the same mistakes we will make like 20 years ago with the same English players, but it's a learning curve, the boys going to step up things again September in the Nation League, so it's very good thing is coming for us. But I just want to say, man, I really appreciate the support. Thanks for watching Nicardo Media House, man. Wow.
In the city life, I'm feeling so alive. Drifting around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing routes?